Good morning, children. I hope you all are doing well. Have you had your breakfast in the morning? Okay, good. So, don't go anywhere unnecessarily, okay? Be in your home and be safe, okay? Obey your parents and be good. So, in our last class, we have started a new lesson, is it? So, in our last English class, we have started a new lesson. And do you remember the topic of that lesson? Can you say what is that topic? Yes, the crystal cave. So the author of this lesson is Arup Kumar Datta, is it? So we have seen about him. Do you remember that? Yeah, he is an Indian writer and also a journalist, is it? So we have seen about this man and also the summary of the crystal cave written by Arup Kumar Datta, is it? So yesterday I have told the summary and also I have read the story for you, is it? I have read the lesson for you and I told you to mark the hard words with pencil. Have you marked it? Okay. So today when I am teaching, I will say the meaning of the hard words in the middle, okay? So shall we start now? Okay. So now you take your book and take page number 12 in that. Okay. So the Nok tribe lives in the riverine mountainous district of Tarap in the beautiful state of Arunachal Pradesh. Here is a story of Tenyak and Shangun, two brave Nok children. Taste this, Grandma Kamlong said. She scooped out a ladle full of broth from the pan over the fireplace. It smelled delicious. Grandma blew on the bamboo ladle to cool the broth. Then she poured a little into Tenyak and Shangun's open mouth. Yeah, exclaimed Tenyak. It tastes awful. So, scooped means to take out. Okay. So, she took out a spoonful of broth, a soup. Okay, ladle means a spoon with a long handle. Okay, scooped means to take out, and ladle means a spoon with a long handle. Broth means you know that soup. Toothless, sorry, toothless grin will be coming in the next para, I think so. Okay, so in this paragraph, three meanings I have told you, is it? Okay, so what is this grandma she is doing means she is preparing broth. Okay, she is preparing some soup for the children. Okay, so what she did, she took a spoon and she took some soup in that spoon. She was blowing it. Why? Because the soup was very hot. So, in order to cool it down, she blew it and she gave it to the children to taste. Okay, she poured it in Tenya's and Changun's mouth. Okay, so she gave it to the children to taste it. Okay, so they tasted it and they told that it was not good. The taste was not good. Okay, and see here, don't like it, do you? Said Grandma with a toothless grin. But watch now. Using the ladle, she scooped up a little salt from the wooden bowl and put it into the broth. She sang a knock ballad as she stirred. Then she made the children taste the broth once more. Delicious, Grandma, they said, smacking their lips in approval. Magic, isn't it? Grandma said. The broth was tasteless before, but now it is delicious. What caused this miracle? Salt, the children said in chorus. Grandma placed three mats upon the floor as well as dishes of wood and bamboo tumblers. Okay, so toothless grin means a smile made by a toothless person. Okay, a smile made by a toothless person. And Nok ballad means Nok to know, the tribal people. The tribal people who lives in the river side of Arunachal Pradesh is called Nok tribes, is it? And ballad means a poem or a song. Okay, so Nok ballad means a poem or a song which is sung by this tribal people. Okay, and then smacking means a sharp noise made by the lips when that food tastes delicious. We also, when we are eating some food, if the food is very taste, what we will do? We will lick our lips, is it? And we will make some sound with the lips. Am I right? So that is smacking, okay? And reed mats means handmade mats, okay? And this mat is very common in the olden period, okay? Now it's there, but it's not common. But in olden days, it is very common, okay? So what this grandma is doing? She gave some soup to the children to eat, but the soup was not very tasty, is it? So what she did? She took a spoon and she took some salt from a wooden bowl and she put it in the soup and she stirred it. Okay, she mixed it. Okay, she mixed it and she gave that soup to the children to taste it once more. Okay, and when the children tasted it, they told that the soup was very delicious. It was tasting awesome. Okay. So they told that the soup was very delicious. And during that time, the grandmother told that this is like a magic, is it? And she asked the reason why the soup was very taste the second time. Okay. And the children told that because of the salt. Okay. So because they saw that the grandmother is putting salt in that soup, they told that it is because of the salt. Okay. And the grandma, she put three reed mats in the floor, and also she kept the plates and bamboo tumblers which is made of wood and bamboo. Okay. So she kept there because they are getting ready to eat. Okay. Next one, see here. Ladling out steaming rice and broth on the plates, she said, "That's right, for the knocked, salt is more precious than gold. Our village was rich in the past," continued Grandma. "We grew millet and paddy in our field. The jungles gave us shrubs, ferns, and fruits. Our young men went hunting for meat. And most important, we had salt." "Did we make our own salt, Grandma?" Shankun asked, surprised. "Yes, we did. A salt spring used to flow by our village. We built shallow troughs and filled them with salt water. The sun dried away the water, leaving grains of salt in the troughs." Okay. So see here, trough means a low area. Okay, a hollow place, a place where they have digged in the land. If they have digged some area, it will be very hollow, is it? That is trough. Okay. So she is serving food for this children, and during that time she is saying that salt is more precious than gold for this tribal people. Okay. And she is recalling their condition in the past. Okay. And she is saying that in the past we were very rich, our village was very rich, and we grow millet and also paddy. Okay. So they grow millet and also paddy, and the jungle gave them shrubs, fern, and fruits. Shrubs means small plants like things. Okay. So the jungles give them shrubs and also fruits for them. Okay. So the people, the young men of that village, they go for hunting animals for meat. Okay. So they were very rich in everything. Okay. Mainly they had salt. Okay. So they were very rich, and this children is asking how we make our own salt. Do we make our own salt? And they were asking how. We also, when our parents are saying some story, we will ask questions to them, is it? The same way these two children are asking their grandma. Okay. And she is saying that a salt spring was flowing through their village. Okay. So because the salt spring was flowing there, they dig some trucks there, and this water, sorry, the trough will be filled with the salt water. Okay. This spring, this water was flowing from somewhere else, and so they carry the salt with this. Okay. So what happens means, this water, when it come to that deep place, when it comes to that hollow place, the water will be left there, is it? So after some time what happen, if the sun comes, the sun will dry away the water, is it? Because of that hot, the water will be dried away and the salt will be remaining in that trough. Okay, so this is the way they get salt for their village. Okay, have you understood this? Okay, next page. Must have been a lot of salt, Tenyak observed. Yes, much more than what our village required. Our men stuffed the surplus into hollow bamboo tubes and took it to the plains each winter. They bartered the salt for clothes, beads, and other necessities. But there is no salt spring now, Changan said. Grandma sighed. Our village is poor now. We are no longer self sufficient. Our men walked to Konza township to buy salt. Did the salt spring dry up? Tenya asked. Yes, it happened one winter years ago. Our source of wealth dried up with it. Why did it dry up? Persisted Tenya. No one knows. So, see here, bartered means exchanged. Okay, exchanging one thing and getting another one thing. Okay, so for example, giving one pencil and getting a pen in the same way. Okay, so exchanging, bartered means exchange. Okay, and Konsa means, Konsa is the headquarter of Tirap district. Okay, Tirap district is in Arunachal Pradesh where this tribal people live. Okay, Konsa is the headquarter of Tirap district. Okay, so this grandmother is saying the story about salt, is it? And she's saying that we get more salt than our needs. Okay, everyone needs salt, is it? So than that, salt will be more for them. Okay, and so what they did means, the men of that tribal people, they took the bamboo tubes. Okay, bamboo tube means, we will say bottle, is it? Have you seen bottles? Yeah, in the same way, they had bamboo tubes. Okay, so inside that bamboo tubes, they will keep the salt and they take it to other place and they exchange the salt for cloth, beads, and the other things. Okay, other necessary things. Okay, they give salt and they get clothes, beads, and also other things. Okay, so during that time, she asked, who? Changun asked, now there is no salt spring, is it? Like that she asked. Grandma told that yes, we don't have salt spring, but we go to Konsa town to get the salt. Okay, so see here, this is a part of Konsa. Okay, this is in Tirap district. Okay, so they go to this place to get salt. Okay, and Tenyak asked that whether the salt spring dried up. Okay, and the grandmother told that yes, years ago this salt spring dried up. And when he asked why it dried up, she doesn't know the reason to say. Okay, and she says that no one knows the reason why this salt spring dried up. Okay, and next one, see here. Tell me, Grandma, he said, if the spring flows again, will it bring prosperity to our village? Certainly, smiled Grandma Kamla. Later in the afternoon, Tenyak and Changun went to search the spot where the salt spring had flowed into the river. To their surprise, they had no difficulty. The furrow through which the salt spring had flowed was very clearly visible. Only ferns and creepers covered the furrow. They could see it wind up the mountain, a ribbon of light green against the darker green of dense jungles. Tenya cried, we can follow it upstream. So they were asking everything to the grandmother, is it? And Tenyak is asking, if the salt spring is flowing hereafter, will we become rich? And the grandma told, yes. So what they did? In the afternoon, after eating, what they did, they went in search of that place. Okay, these two children, they went in search of the place from where the salt spring is flowing. Okay, so they didn't found it difficulty, because as soon as they went, they found the place. Okay, they found the place and it is very clearly visible for them. Okay, so only one thing is, the shrubs, the ferns, everything, the creepers were covering that place, okay. Rather than that, it is very clearly, and they thought to follow it, okay. Next one, early next day, after the morning meal, Tenyak and Changan started for their quest. Both had bamboo tubes strapped to their backs to carry drinking water in them. They were children of the mountains. The steep climb may have exhausted others, but not them. They were not afraid of the jungles either, because they lived close to the nature. They knew that most of these dangers were imaginary. Only if one accidentally disturbed a wild animal would it attack. So far, they had met with only one obstacle, a large python, but it just raised its blunt hammer like head, flicked out its forked tongue, and slid away to a higher branch. Okay, here exhausted means very tired. Okay, so that day they didn't go to that place. They just went there and found out the place, and they returned home. Okay, the next day early morning, what they did, they finished their breakfast and they started their journey, okay, to find the salt. Okay, so they went, and while going there, what they did, they carried bamboo tubes. Okay, instead of bottles, they have bamboo tubes, and so they carried bamboo tubes with them, and this bamboo tube had drinking water. Okay, so when they need to drink water, they can drink it from that. Okay, so they were carrying bamboo tubes, and they were going through the jungle, okay, through the forest. So they were not afraid of the forest. They know that if we are disturbing any wild animals means only it will attack. If you are not disturbing them, it will not attack us. Okay, so they were on their way, and they met the first obstacle. Okay, the first obstacle is a large python. Okay, so what is it doing? It is raising its head, and it is flicking its forked tongue. So have you seen the tongue of that snakes? A forked tongue will be there, is it? So it is putting its tongue out, and it is dancing with this tongue. Okay, it is making some it is taking that tongue inside and putting outside. Okay, so it didn't do any harm to this children. By seeing this children, what it did, it went away to another branch. Okay, and the next one, but halfway up the mountains, a more serious obstacle came their way, a herd of wild elephants. Changan said, taking care not to make the least noise. They crawled up a little ahead. They could not see the herd. The grey black hides of the elephants blended too well with the foliage. But the sounds made by the herd as it fed grew louder. Soon it became clear that the elephants had chosen the spot as the feeding ground, and it seemed as if they might stay on for quite a while. There was no question of trying to slip through that herd. Their path upstream was firmly blocked. What do we do now? Tenya Shankun asked. We wait, her brother replied grimly. The children waited. Apart from the sounds made by the feeding elephants, the jungle was silent. The deep hush was broken only twice by the hokok call of a holok gibbon and a pangolian scampering through the undergrowth. They waited patiently for over 2 hours, and then finally they heard heavy bodies crash through the thick foliage. The elephant herd was on the move. So, see here, foliage means all the leaves of the trees and plants. Okay, so in the jungle the leaves will be covered, is it? The trees and plants have many leaves, and the leaves will be covered. That is foliage. Okay, and scampering means ran quickly. Okay, so the first obstacle is the python, is it? And the second obstacle is the herd of elephants. Okay, so while they were going, they could hear the sound of the elephants. Okay, but they can't see that because the forest is covered with trees and everything, is it? So they can't see that. And when they heard the sound, what they did? They waited in a place, okay? So suddenly they have seen this herd of elephants, a group of elephants coming to a place, and they started to eat the grass in the ground, okay? So it is their feeding spot, okay? So they were eating there, and these children, they can't move further because the elephants were there. So what Changan is asking, what we can do now? And her brother told that we can wait for some time, okay? Because this elephants want to go, is it? So the children were waiting there, and only the jungle was very silent, and one noise is the herd of the elephants. Rather than that, there is no noise in the jungle, okay? The jungle was very silent. And another one noise is the hoko noise of this gibbon, okay? This is a kind of monkey, okay? A family of monkey, okay? So the noise of this hollow gibbon, and also this pangolin, it is running quickly, okay? So only these two noises there, okay? So these children, they were waiting for more than 2 hours there. And when the when they were waiting, the elephant started to move, okay? They climbed for an hour and all of a sudden stumbled into a clearing. Hundreds of hoof marks were visible on the ground. There were also some pug marks of wild cats and imprints of elephant feet. Shangan cried out, "It is a natural salt lick." Wild animals came to lick the earth for salt. This took care of the salt requirement of their bodies. The salt spring furrow ran through the center of the clearing for some distance and then disappeared into a hollow. Tenyak and Shangun raced towards the hollow. As they had guessed, it was a cave. The sunlight lit up the interior at the cave's mouth. The walls of the tunnel-like cave were coated with white crystal. Heaps of crystal rose like molehills from the floor and dangled like wasp nests from the ceiling. The pure white crystalline heaps glittered in the slanting rays of the afternoon sun. Tenyak bent down and picked up a pinch of the crystal, put it to the tip of his tongue. "It's salt," he whispered in wonder, as if unable to believe his tongue. So after this, elephants went, they were walking, okay? So see here, pug marks means the footprints, okay? Pug marks means footprints. So after this, elephants went, they were walking and they found that many footprints were there in the ground, okay? And these footprints are of wild cats and elephant, okay? So many footprints were in the ground, and Changuan told that because this earth has salt in this animals were coming here to lick the salt from the earth, okay? So they found a salt spring furrow there, and what they did, they went through that, okay? So this salt spring is disappearing in a place, okay? So when they went there, they found that it was a cave, okay? So when they went near that, they found that it was a cave, and they found inside the cave there was white crystals, okay? The cave was coated with white crystal. The cave was filled with white crystal. White crystals means the salt, okay? So what this Tenyak did, he took some salt and he kept it in the tip of his tongue, and when he tasted it, he found that it was salt. So he was very happy, and he is saying that it's salt, okay? Soon he began to hop about wildly in imitation of a tribal war dance, whooping and shrieking in gay abandon. "We have found salt," he cried. Changun crooned. "There's enough salt in this cave to last our village 1,000 years." The tunnel-like cave is a natural salt mine. The spring flow through it, carrying some of the salt away, said Changun. The sun was already half down on its journey across the horizon. The children knew they must hurry back to their village. Though they wanted to locate the salt spring, they knew it was not the right time. They drank the water in the bamboo tubes. Then they placed the tubes upside down on the ground to dry them completely. They packed the tubes with salt. Then, carrying the treasure upon their backs, they began to descend. Okay, so suddenly they found out that it was salt. Tenyak began to dance. Okay, imitation means copying. Okay, imitation means copying. Crooned means hummed. Hummed means when we are hearing some song, what we will do? We will hum that song, is it? We will sing in a soft voice, is it? So suddenly this Tenyak, he began to dance. Okay, he danced their tribal war dance. Okay, so their dance, he is inside the cave itself, he is dancing. Okay, and Changan told that there is enough salt in this cave so that we can become very rich, and it is enough for our village people for 1,000 years. Okay, so it was morning itself. They were on their way to find this salt cave, is it? But now it is going to be evening. Okay, so they know that this was not the right time to stand here, because the people in the village will be searching this children, is it? So what they did, they bought two bamboo tubes, is it? They bought water in that bamboo tubes, is it? So they drank every water, and they kept that bamboo tubes upside down so that the water in that tubes were completely dried up. Okay. After that, they packed the tubes with salt and they carried it and they went home. Okay. The villagers had meanwhile begun worrying. When they saw the two children descend, the crowd broke out into loud cheers. The children ran excitedly to Grandma, come now. They shouted, we have found the cave of salt. Our village will be prosperous again. Unstrapping the bamboo tubes, they poured the salt onto the earth. The heaps glowed into the light of setting sun. Grandma laughed happily. Well done, children, the chief said. Your courage deserves to be rewarded. You too will be chief guest during the Loku festival. Picking Tenyak up, the chief placed him on his shoulders. Changun's father picked her up and placed her on his shoulder. Grandma Kamlong broke out into a knocked ballad of courage. The villagers sang along and began a grand celebration. Okay, so the village people, they were very much worried because the both the children were not there. Okay, so suddenly when they found this children coming, they were very happily. Okay, the children came and they went to their grandma and they told that we have found the cave of salt. Okay, and they took the bamboo tubes and they put the salt in the earth. Okay, by seeing this, the grandma was very happy. Okay, and the chief told that you both were good because they have found the prosperous thing for their village. Is it a precious thing for their village? And this chief, he took this boy Tenyak and he placed him on his shoulder. Okay, and he told that you both will be the chief guest of this Loku festival. Loku festival means harvest festival. Okay, so in Arunachal Pradesh they celebrate this harvest festival. We will celebrate Pongal festival, is it like that? For them, Loku festival. Okay, so the chief told that you two will be the chief guest during that festival, and he took Tenyak and he kept him in his shoulder. And Changun's father, what he did, he took her and he placed her on his shoulder. Okay, so the grandma, she is singing the ballad, knocked ballad. Okay, and the villagers, they were very happy and they were also singing along. And during that time, the celebration started in the village. Okay. So have you understood this lesson? Okay. I hope you all have understood this. Thank you and have a nice day.